Hey, and welcome to And the Razzie Goes To. I'm Will Purpura.
I'm Laura Merli.
And today we're talking about Leonard Part 6, 1987.
And did you know it's called Leonard Part 6 because the narrator of the movie says there was parts 1 through 5 that were secretly destroyed from the CIA because they were too dangerous. But he assured us they were very funny and very good and very interesting. And that just made me think of it because why we were giggling in the beginning is we've actually tried to film this intro. This is actually our intro part 6.
Yeah, this is intro part 6.
The bloopers were really good.
Yeah, I doubt it. I think this is an unreliable narrator based on all the information he was giving throughout the movie was that this was exciting. And it was not.
And he also said that it would all make sense to us why Leonard jumped off of a exploding building on an ostrich wearing ballet slippers, and it really didn't all come together in the end.
I had never seen this in a movie before, but I could only assume they were like, this is a disaster. So we have to take 3 things that we think are the most exciting out of the movie and front load them. We'll put them at the beginning and be like, this comes later. But if you were to watch that and like, these are the greatest hits, you might want to walk out right then and there because it was like, this is just so...
Wait for the ostrich.
The ostrich was good.
I did like the ostrich too. Yeah, it did make me kind of nervous when he sat on it though, because ostriches have such skinny little legs. I was like, it doesn't look like they could hold a whole big man.
I don't think it's, I don't think it's possible. There's a lot of things dealing with animals.
Ostriches also can't fly, and it flew him to safety.
Yeah, I think that's not correct. There's a lot of animal stuff in here that I think is incorrect.
Oh, yeah. The whole movie has very weird politics around animals.
Yeah, it seems to be, I can't tell if it's anti-vegetarian or pro-vegetarian.
I felt like it was very anti in a very strange way.
It's like Cosby has this thing against vegetarians, and he's like, I'm going to satirize this in a way that doesn't make sense by throwing...
evil vegetarian.
Yeah, and he's throwing raw meat on them, and they're exploding.
Yeah, well,
let's do the
with
recap.
That,
yeah.
I took notes this time, so hopefully I'll be a little bit more articulate than I normally am. So, Bill Cosby plays Leonard Parker, who's a retired CIA agent who now runs and owns a fancy restaurant. And one day, another agent comes into the restaurant and starts shooting him in the kitchen of the restaurant, which the whole staff just completely ignores and cooks around them. They even kind of like that they're getting shot at because it's helping with the cooking process. Like the bullets are dropping eggs and putting holes in stuff that they need to pour anyway. So they're just kind of like, this is okay with us.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, why not? Leonard kills this agent, and afterwards he's like, I'm going to go to the CIA and see why they sent this guy to kill me, because he can automatically tell that he's from the CIA.
Dragged his body into the boardroom. All the way there.
Yeah, and nobody stopped him on the way. No one was like, hey, what are you doing with that?
Yeah.
Is that real or a dummy? He goes to the CIA, and he's like, why'd you send this guy after me? And they're like, because we have a mission for you, and we knew if we reached out to you, normally you would say no. It made me really sad to think they were like, oh, let's just get this guy killed.
Yeah, they sent him in on a mission for him to be killed.
Yeah.
How did he get killed again?
He got shot, and then he fell into a fish tank and drowned in the fish tank.
It was from a ricocheted bullet, right? No one, or someone deliberately shot him?
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Action sequences sometimes are just like too much for my brain to handle, and it goes like fizzy.
He also did this thing when he got shot in the back of the head. He went like that.
Owie.
He went and put his hand right there. Ow.
That's where I got shot. And I was like, okay, I get maybe he wouldn't answer his phone calls or his mail, but what if they had just sent this guy to be like, hey, we want you to do a mission instead of shooting him?
Yeah. Why?
I feel like that could have worked.
I think that could have worked, but I guess they thought it was funny.
I guess they thought it was fun. There's a lot of things in here that you're like, I guess someone thinks that's funny.
And I'm like, but that's not funny. It's very much not funny.
No, there's a lot of very uncomfortable things in this movie.
Yes.
Okay, so we find out that part of the reason why he's not in the CIA anymore is because his wife left him because she thinks that being in the CIA and being a hot man of the world made him more into cheating on her. And there's this whole bit that made me very uncomfortable. Apparently, years ago, she walked in on him naked in a sauna with a 19-year-old.
Yeah.
And he's like, I just was fanning her with a leaf.
Yeah.
I wasn't touching her, just touching the leaf. And it just comes up over and over again. And he's just like, I just touched the leaf.
They never explain this, but also it's just like an unpleasant idea that
the imagery I didn't like thinking about it.
Yeah, so
it felt like they were trying to say, oh, he's just a well-meaning nice guy, he didn't really do anything wrong. And it's like, well, he probably shouldn't have been doing that. Like, what was he doing with that?
Why would he be in that situation in any way that wasn't sleazy or weird?
And so this part did make me laugh. They show a whole little PowerPoint to him, the CIA does, about how there's animal attacks going on all over the place. And they show this one couple that was killed by some animals. This woman who's giving the PowerPoint is just like, they were left for dead because they were dead.
That's a good line.
I was like, that was cool.
That's a good one. Yeah.
There's a lot of bits that don't work, though. Like, when they're sitting at the table before the presentation, he's like, okay, lights out, everybody. And everybody flicks their little desk light off, but not in unison. And he's like, oh, try again. We can do it in unison. And I didn't think that was funny.
No, a lot of it just falls flat. Also, him, and I find this happens sometimes with comedians of the 80s and 90s that decide they want to do a movie. He doesn't know what he's doing. Like, he doesn't know, even though he created the movie, it feels like he doesn't know what movie he's in. It's like, do you want to be a secret agent or do you want to be funny?
Yes, because it seems at times like it's trying to be a Naked Gun type movie.
Yeah.
But Leslie Nielsen in The Naked Gun is acting in his body language like he is a legit sneaky secret agent.
Yes.
And Bill Cosby in this movie is not acting that way. He's kind of acting like a bumbling, weird dad. Yeah.
He also looks bored. He looks like he's bored in his own $1 million movie that they gave him, like
$24 million movie.
Gave him a lot of money to make this, and he looks like not enthused.
Yeah, he's just wandering around scene to scene. For someone who needed to come back to fulfill this mission, he was the guy they needed. He doesn't seem to have any special skills.
No.
He's not good at shooting.
No.
He's not good at running or hiding or
fighting
or manipulating people, like talking to people.
Yeah, no negotiation tactics.
He doesn't negotiate. He just kind of like fumbles his way through every scene.
Yeah, there's also, there's more stuff in the but he's also not like a good detective in any way. Like, he doesn't figure out solutions.
No, everything just kind of solves itself.
Yeah, everything solves itself. Totally.
Yeah, so he goes home and there's a crazy amount of luggage in his house, and it turns out his daughter is visiting because she's gotten into a fight with her mother. And he's like, what have you been up to, honey? And she's like, I'm an actress now, and I'm starring in a play that's amazing and gonna take my career to the next level. And he's like, who are you dating in the theater company, the lead actor? And she's like, no, the director. And he's in the other room for you to meet. He's like, okay. And they go over to the other room. The guy turns around. He's an old man. He's like a grandpa type guy.
65 or something like that, yeah.
And he's like, what? And she's like, Dad, it's okay. He's Italian. And he's like, honey, go make me a sandwich and get me a Coke.
Yeah.
And so he's like, you shouldn't be dating my daughter. You're robbing the cradle. And he's like, I'd say she's robbing the grave.
And he had no response to that. He
No,
was just like, oh.
He was like, okay, checkmate.
Yeah.
But this isn't over yet.
There's still a few more minutes to this scene.
Yeah. And this is the main scene that Siskel and Ebert had a huge problem with.
Yes.
Because they said that it was just so embarrassing that they had such intense product placement.
Yeah.
Since when she brings back the Coke, he's like holding it next to his face.
Yeah.
For me, this movie was so egregious in so many ways that part didn't really feel crazy to me.
Yeah, but this is the time when he is like the face of Coca-Cola, or like he was part of that whole the new Coke marketing scheme where they changed the formula.
Oh.
And then they changed it back to classic Coca-Cola when it didn't work. So he was just like, he is like on all these Coca-Cola commercials. And then in this movie, he's like promoting more Coca-Cola. And there is a part where it's like Coca-Cola in the script form, like that little font that they do, and then they cut away and they cut back, and then it's Coke in big bold letters. Like they were just trying to hammer that in.
That you can have the classic or the new Coke just as long as you're having a Coke?
It's not just cola, it's Coke. It's
I was more distracted by, she made a very big sandwich.
It was a big sandwich.
It was huge. He couldn't fit it into his mouth.
Yeah.
He had to kind of open it, and it wasn't the type of sandwich that you eat open face. It was like lunch meats.
Yes.
So
he kind of held it like a book.
Yeah.
And he's like, what do I do with this?
And he didn't get her boyfriend a sandwich.
That's right, yeah.
He was just like, time for you to watch me eat his sandwich and drink a Coke.
Yeah.
Maybe that was a power move.
I guess so, yeah. Like, you know, I'm going to eat this sandwich and drink this Coca-Cola in front of you.
His one tactic throughout this whole movie is eating meat.
He's really, like, heavy on the meat.
Yeah.
I could imagine the creative meetings with him where he's like, this vegetarian fad has to stop and we got to hammer this home.
Then he ends the conversation with the daughter by being like, so is this why your mom's mad at you and you're here to stay with me? And she's like, yeah. And he's pouting, and then he has a brilliant idea, and he's like, wait, this is actually the perfect opportunity for me to contact my ex-wife, who I really want to win back over. Actually, thank you for getting with this old dude. I'm loving this now. So
he is an adult person who can call her at any time.
Yes, and he like skips around the house as if this is the most exciting thing that's ever happened to him, and he's no longer concerned about the daughter's well-being at all.
Right.
So he calls the wife, and he's like, I heard you're upset. Can I come over so we can discuss? And there's this really weird shot where we just see the wife's mouth. And she's like, yeah. But the way the shot is, it almost looks like she's a phone sex operator. It doesn't look like how you would shoot a normal conversation between people, especially two people who have tension between each other.
Yes. Usually when they do that, it's like, this is going to be a very big surprise who this is when they actually go over there. And it's just a person.
She's just a normal woman. Yeah. But so then he spends the next 12 hours getting ready.
It's a makeover scene.
Yeah, he has a makeover scene that he looks exactly the same in at the end, except he's wearing a suit.
Did you see how much shaving cream he had on his face?
So much.
That was a lot. Yeah.
And his butler helps him throughout, and he's like, ooh, I can't wait for you to get back with her. All the staff really, really want to see them bone.
Yes.
They're like so pumped about it.
Yeah.
So then his butler drives him to the wife's house, which is right next door.
Right.
So you would think that he would have just run into her at some point before this.
Yeah, absolutely. Right.
And his daughter was like next door the whole time. And he acts like he hasn't seen her in forever.
Like 7 years.
Yeah.
She's right there.
Yeah. So.
There's one part though when they're doing the makeover part.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of working out.
Yes.
And there's the Jane Fonda workout tape, which she did like a special one. She made this just for the movie.
Oh, wow.
Because she says, "Come on, Leonard," which doesn't make any sense. Like, why would she make a tape for Leonard?
Yeah, and then the CIA cuts in and is like, "You're supposed to be stopping the evil vegetarian." And he's like, "Well, I'm busy."
Yeah.
How did you get in the TV?
And there is no answer to that.
No. But they are the CIA, so it's not the craziest thing.
I guess they could have if they wanted to. I think the Jane Fonda workout tape that was made specifically for Leonard is more implausible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. So he goes over to the wife's house. Her staff is also really, really into them getting back together. They're like, "We hope you can stay past dinner for breakfast." And he's like, "I hope so too. I want to eat grits." And then the waitstaff brings in this like very elaborate cart of different food, and his wife, who is revealed to be just a beautiful but just normal woman.
Yeah.
From that shot, like you were saying, it did seem like there was going to be a reveal that there was going to be something odd about her, or different, or
it's someone famous, like a cameo or
yeah,
something.
I thought maybe she was going to be the vegetarian woman, and maybe that's why he didn't want to bring her down.
Right, that could have been a nice little twist.
Mm-hmm. But no, that wasn't the twist. No. She's like, "Leave us, we want to dine by ourselves." And they're like, "Okay." So she picks up the soup, and no, she picks up the wine first and pours a little in his glass and some on his hand. And she's talking in a way that seems like she's on Quaaludes.
Oh, yeah.
She's like, "You want some wine? Here's some wine." So at first I really couldn't tell if she was drunk or what was going on, if she was having a seizure. And then she picks up the soup and she just like pours it on his jacket, and he's like, "What?"
He has no he just sits there. Like if someone poured hot soup on you, you would have some reaction.
Yeah. And he's like, "Huh?" And she's like, "I'm still upset about the 19-year-old thing." And he's like, "Oh, darn." And then she's like, "I made your favorite dish." She picks up a huge plate of rice and shrimp and just like pies him in the face with it.
Isn't it like, if you're writing this scene, it's like, wouldn't you want to pick funny foods? Like, what's funny about shrimp and rice being put onto someone's face?
Yeah. This was another one of those scenes where I was like, I can tell it's supposed to be funny, but it's making me very uncomfortable. It's one of those things that you watch and you're like, is this fetish content? Like, what's going on?
Oh, interesting. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, maybe there was like something to that.
But
well, maybe there's like a thing with the meat. Because, like, maybe the shrimp, I don't know. The meat keeps coming up.
Meat is a theme, but I'm not sure exactly what it's saying.
I don't know either. Yeah. But
yeah,
he get like, you'd think like a pie to the face, like that's a classic.
I could even see her pouring him the wine and then getting really mad and picking it up and throwing that at him or on him. Mm-hmm. But that he remains seated while she pours. And she doesn't just pour soup on him once. She, like, ladles it on to his shoulder. Yeah. And then dunks it again and ladles more of it and more of it. And then takes the other. You would think by this point he'd be standing up, leaving.
Like, what's going on here?
And you would also think that her demeanor would change when it's revealed that she's mad. But the whole time she's just like, "Yeah, I didn't like that. I don't like you. I don't like you."
It's like two zombies.
Yeah.
They're just like, someone act like something's happening right now.
I thought for a second that maybe the vegetarian woman had figured out how to control people and was controlling her too.
Another good idea, yeah.
Because I was like, she's acting so bizarre.
Yeah.
What's going on? But that wasn't the case either.
No, that would have been another.
She's a weird lady.
Yes.
after he realizes, like, you know, I'm not gonna get back with my wife, I might as well just save the city from the evil vegetarian, or rather the world.
Yeah.
For very unclear reasons, she's gonna destroy the world.
Yeah, no logic or explanation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So he goes to a psychic that apparently he goes to every time he needs, like, advice on a big mission.
Yeah.
And this is a psychic who speaks a language that he does not speak
It's
or
like Swedish?
understand. It's it wasn't Swedish, but I forget what it
Something,
was.
yeah.
I think she was from Albania.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I think so. But I don't think that any of her dialogue is a legitimate language. I think she was just speaking gibberish the whole time.
Yeah.
So he sits down, she grabs him, says gibberish. There's this one specific word of gibberish she says that he's like, yeah, that's something. And then she hands him ballet slippers.
Yeah.
And one other thing that I'm forgetting what it is.
I forget.
I forget what it is. Yeah, it doesn't even really matter much.
Yeah.
So then he goes to where the vegetarian is. Her name's Medusa. And he goes with these humongous rockets.
Oh, yes.
That are strapped to his car.
The car looks terrible.
Yeah.
It looks
like a joke car.
It looks like a joke, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, I actually heard that he got the idea for this film from watching Rambo.
Right.
Which if you watch just this scene where he's shooting a bunch of rockets at this building, that kind of makes sense. Mm-hmm. He said he thought to himself, quote, "Man, there's got to be a place for a hero who has to deal with a heavy who's got a bigger gun than he has."
What?
Meaning Rambo. There's got to be a place. There's got to be a place for somebody who's got a bigger gun than he has.
Cosby at home watching Rambo, and that's the thought that comes in.
Somebody's got to have a bigger gun.
God damn it.
And it's got to be me.
Yeah. He doesn't really have a big gun, though. He has, like, rockets and rockets in his arms.
And the rockets, the big joke is they don't work.
They don't work at all. Like, they can't get the door down.
Yeah. But then he just goes in. Oh, because
they open the door.
Yeah, Medusa's like, let him in. I'm crazy.
Yeah.
I want to see him. And he comes in and she's like, vegetarians, get him. And a bunch of people pop up in bird costumes.
Yes. This was disturbing.
Yeah, she's like, they were raised by birds in the wilderness. They've never eaten meat before.
Oh my God.
Only bird food. And they start interpretive dancing around him, and he's like, good thing I've got my ballet slippers.
Yeah, why would you need to dance in order to fight these guys?
It didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, he could have just fought them. He could have fought them way easier if he wasn't on point.
No, right, exactly. So then he starts dancing, and it's like an obvious double. Mm-hmm. It's like a body double, like, dancing for him.
Yeah.
And you're just watching, like, is this the joke? The joke that he's ballet dancing?
He does an extended ballet sequence, and they just kind of dance around him.
Yeah.
And then he kicks their asses, and she's like, "Aw, darn." And he runs past a bunch of bees. Oh, now I remember.
Oh,
the psychic
bees.
also gave him a queen bee in a box.
Yeah.
It sounds like the psychic should be in the CIA, not him, because she somehow knew everything that he needed, all these accessories, and he had no idea. He didn't even know what she was saying.
It's like the only thing that he can provide is his access to the psychic.
Yes.
Like, that's the only thing that's special about him, is that he knows this psychic. Why not just hire the psychic?
Yeah, and he said in the beginning he gets $6 million per mission. The psychic lives in an abandoned school bus with a bunch of kids by herself. She seems like a single mom. She could really use some money.
Yeah, give her half.
Yeah.
Or everything.
She should get hired and he should get fired for this.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so he goes past the bee room and he's like, I know what'll get the bees. This queen bee that the psychic gave me.
This isn't how bees work, by the way.
I do know that bees really are into their queen bee.
But he was like making it like into like a sexual thing. He was like, mind if I what? I was like, what the hell are you talking about?
That part was like really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
He put the queen bee in there and goes, mind if I watch?
I was like, what the hell are you talking about?
Well, the queen bee, I think, is literally the only one that's allowed to mate with the
You think
underlings.
they were mating in that room, like at that time, or they were?
I think the whole scene was Cosby is like getting off watching these bees have sex with each other.
That was so why?
Yeah.
Why did we need that?
Yeah, and then he gets them all to fly out.
Yeah.
And distract people. This one guy takes out like a boomerang knife, and he's like, Cosby's like, anything but the boomerang knife, and the guy throws it anyway. He just ducks, and it flies around and kills the guy who threw it.
Right.
Very convenient.
Yeah, very convenient.
Yeah. So he pretty easily just picks up this device that apparently she's been using to mind control animals. And he's like, what are you doing with this? What are you telling the animals? And she's like, I just told them the truth, that they're exploited by people. Well, and it doesn't really make any sense that they'd want to follow her, though, because she didn't say anything about promising them something better.
They're in cages.
Yeah, she has a bunch of animals in cages. She's also, like, milking cows, which is like... Wouldn't the cows be like, hey, why don't we stop this too?
Yeah.
What are we doing here?
Another like kind of big oversight of the film is like she can communicate with the animals. Shouldn't we see that a little bit?
Yes.
Like the animals communicating with her somehow or something. It's like nothing. The animals aren't doing anything interesting.
The only time we see an animal communicate is like almost in the very beginning, before he gets called into the CIA, we see them take out one guy they take a fish and they show the fish a picture of a guy and they point to him, and then the fish goes through a tube. He stops suddenly because there's a Playboy magazine and the fish is like, ooh, I'm intrigued by this. But then he doesn't open it or even touch himself a little bit. And then he just keeps swimming into this random guy's pool.
Yeah.
He's a sea bass, by the way, not even like a intense fish.
Yeah.
And while one of her like cronies is watching, the sea bass comes into this guy's pool and bites him to death. But sea bass, they don't even, I think, have teeth or much teeth. The crony who was watching could have killed this guy easier than the fish.
Yeah. And I like how the woman he's with, she goes, come on, stop splashing.
You're being crazy.
It should have been a piranha or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So... Anyway, Leonard goes home after he got his thing, and he thinks it's all over. So it's time for him to perform surgery on himself, because he did apparently get shot.
Oh, yeah.
During this altercation. So he's in the bathroom. He drinks a whole bottle of whiskey.
Oh, yeah.
And goes to extract it. And his daughter bangs on the door and is like, Daddy, you forgot you're supposed to come to my play tonight. The critics loved it. If you don't come, I'm going to be so upset. And he's like, of course I'm coming, honey. So they go to the play. It's a very cringy, arty, like one of those ones where they're talking in a weird theatrical voice. And then it ends with her taking all her clothes off. And he's like, oh, no, that's my daughter. I don't like that. But everybody else is like, whoa, we like this. This is cool. So he goes backstage and complains. And then he gets distracted by something for a little bit. And in that time, Medusa ties up the daughter and all the cast. When he walks back in, they're tied up, and he untapes the daughter's mouth, and she's like, they took Mom, and he's like, oh no, I guess I gotta save her. another opportunity for us to get back together, maybe.
Yeah. He has that in the back of his head, even in this time of crisis.
He's like a wooga. And the daughter's like, she said that she will never release mom until you give her animal mind control device back. So he's like, okay, I guess I'll go home and get it and drive over to her place.
Right.
Which, by the way, I don't think I said earlier, the building that she's staying in is like a tuna factory.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Another animal reference or something.
Which is strange, too, because that's where they kill and put tuna in cans.
Yeah.
You would think the animals wouldn't be on board with that.
Right.
They wouldn't be like, yeah, let's all hang out at the tuna factory.
Yeah, why there?
Yeah. But anywho's, so he gets the device and he notices that there's like a liquid in it. Mm-hmm. And he's like, okay, I think that's something. The CIA is trying to figure out how the device works. So the CIA is like, wait, we need to test it on rabbits and see if we can figure it out. They think they figured it out, but the one thing they didn't figure out is there's like a signal that she must be giving to activate this mind control device. And he takes all the rabbits out of the cages, and he's manhandling some of these rabbits in a way that made me a little uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. I was like, Bill doesn't seem like somebody who's good with animals.
No, not at all.
Yeah. And then he realizes that the trigger must be the word that the psychic said that sounded weird earlier. Oh, yeah. So he yells it, and the rabbits all attack and presumably kill.
That's what I thought.
The scientists.
I was like, okay, he just killed all the scientists.
I thought that was a strange move for him to kill all the scientists.
Yeah, that's what it looked like.
Yeah, they're CIA. They're kind of on his side.
Yeah, but they do come back, right?
No, I think they died.
Oh, they died?
I think so. We didn't see them back. When did you think you saw them?
I saw at one point at the end. I thought I saw the Joe Don Baker, the main person. I thought I saw him
covered in scratches.
He wasn't covered in scratches, but maybe I'm getting the order mixed up. But I thought they were getting killed. I thought they
died.
I thought they were I mean, that's what it suggested.
Yeah, but you see their shadow just getting bitten up by bunnies.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's got the device. He's chatting with his butler on the way there, and he's like, okay, so we know what the trigger word is. We have the device, but we don't want her to be able to use the device when we give it back to her. So, like, we should mess it up a little bit. And they look inside. There's this liquid, and they're like, oh, this looks like dish soap. So they run into a store, buy a bunch of dish soap to switch out the liquid.
Yeah.
And they get there. Medusa's like, did you bring my device? He's like, yeah, give me my wife. And she just releases a cage, which you think the wife is going to be in, and it's just empty. And he's like, give me my wife.
Yeah. She
says nothing, and he just goes, give me my wife. That scene went on for so long. He's like, give me my wife. Give me my wife. I want my wife. I want my wife.
Yeah. Just over and over.
Yeah. So finally, she's like, give me the device first. And he gives it over. And she's like, you thought you could put dish soap in this. Actually, it runs on any liquid.
Oh.
It's just a matter of that trigger word and the device. So I can still do whatever. I can still mind control animals.
So it doesn't matter what liquid's in there.
It doesn't matter what liquid it is. She really could have made a killing with that technology.
Could be water. It could be anything. Yeah.
Yeah, to figure out how to harness the power from literally any liquid.
Crazy.
Mm-hmm. So she has him thrown into a jail cell that his wife is in. Mm-hmm. And they're tied up to this wall, and she puts in a ton of lobsters.
Yes.
The lobsters are menacingly crawling up to them. They're gonna attack. Yeah, so then you think all is lost. They're going to get eaten by the lobsters. But he has a brilliant idea that he picks up a lobster that is just arbitrarily snapping.
Yeah.
And it snaps the stuff that's holding his arms up.
Great.
Perfect. Yeah.
He also, when they're tied up, he takes this time to say to her, did you pour the soup on me because you hate me or because you love me?
I thought that was odd, too. I was like, I think it was pretty clear that she doesn't like you.
Yeah. And also, you're about to get killed, presumably,
by
or something.
Lobsters.
Yeah. Why are you know.
Why are we rehashing this?
Yeah, come on. Not the right time.
I thought the same thing.
Yeah.
And then he tries to move the lobster over to, like, let his wife free, but the lobster's like, I'm tired of this shit. I don't want to claw anymore.
Yeah.
So he takes a big thing of butter out of his pocket, and he's like, I'll butter you up if you don't let my wife go free.
Yeah.
So then the lobster does it.
There was another line in here where he looks at the lobsters and he goes, hey, fellas, where are your rubber bands?
Yeah. Honestly, that line did make me laugh when they were like coming towards him.
Yeah.
Hey, fellas, where are the rubber bands?
That was not bad. Yeah.
We threw him off.
We threw
Sir,
him off, yeah.
Where's your soup on your face and jacket?
Yeah, exactly. The lobsters should have spoke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is another thing that would have made this movie better is like it's unclear if she can talk to animals and they can communicate with her or if she's just mind controlling them because sometimes they make it seem like she's communicating with them and sometimes they make it seem like she's just straight up like using them as a vessel.
Yeah. I couldn't make it clear for myself.
I don't think the movie knows either.
Yeah.
But so he gets out. He blows everything up by putting Alka-Seltzer tablets in the big vats of liquid that they have to power the machine. And then everything explodes. And right as everything's exploding, he hops on an ostrich. And the ostrich flies him to safety.
Yeah.
And then the final scene is him and his wife are at a fancy restaurant. They've made up. They're like, they look lovingly at each other and they're like, there's only one thing left to do. And I was like, oh, they're going to eat lobster.
Right.
That'll be fun. But then she pours soup on him.
Yeah, they do it again.
And he's like, hee. And then she pours more soup on him.
Yeah. And then they
kiss. And then she pours it over his head and then they kiss. It's like dripping down his face.
Yeah.
I just thought it was gross. I didn't think it was funny.
They were trying to call back to something that wasn't funny to begin with.
Yeah, it's like when you're watching bad improv and nothing has been funny yet, but they're like, it's time to do callbacks and we're just calling back to something that it's like, oh, that never should have happened.
Right, yeah. Yeah, and that's what they did. And that was the end of the movie. Short movie, thankfully, only an hour and 25 minutes. Felt long, but I was like, thank God. If this was made today, it would be like 2 hours, even regardless of good or bad. I'm glad that they only made it 85 minutes.
Oh, yeah. Movies should be short.
Yeah, I think they should be short. But, yeah, so you were mentioning it before, but when this came out, Cosby disowned it and went on a little publicity tour to tell people not to watch the movie.
Yeah, and it's funny that he didn't really get backlash for that.
Yeah, but he threw everybody under the bus. That and he's the one responsible for what this is.
Yeah, it was mostly his fault.
Yeah. I heard that there were a lot of arguments on the set, and one time the director very justifiably said to him, this feels a little slow, like what you're doing, like how you're acting. This feels like maybe we could pick up the pace. And Cosby says to him, I'll worry about the comedy. So, but he's so unfunny in this.
He's so unfunny.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he also said before it came out, I put something in for the women and something in for the children. I don't know what he could have possibly been referring to.
Yeah,
because he seems deeply condescending toward the female characters in this movie.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. The daughter, the wife, and the villain too.
Yeah, it seems like the daughter, the wife, and the villain are the big female leads of this movie, and he's just like spending the whole movie like, ugh, these women driving me crazy.
Yeah.
I'm just a normal, rational guy who has normal good wants.
And the psychic too, who's like the genius, is treated like a goofball. Like there's a lot of like, oh, she's so crazy or something like that. And it's like, this is the most, what would you call it? Like, is indispensable the right word? Or is that, like,
I guess so, yeah.
to the team? I mean, like, she's the one with all the
answers.
All the answers.
Yeah, somehow she knew every single thing that was going to happen. She really is a psychic.
She's a true psychic. She's legit.
I guess we touched on this a bit, but how would you make this movie better?
Oh, this is a theory I have too,
Yeah.
of like why he wanted to make this, because he did mention Rambo, but he also had like a feud with Eddie Murphy during this time. And Eddie Murphy was doing like action comedies that were successful, like Beverly Hills Cop.
What was his feud with Eddie Murphy over?
He didn't like him cursing. He thought he was too foul.
You don't like hearing a cuss word, but
Yeah.
you can look at bees and be like, mind if I watch you do it?
Exactly. Right.
What? You're weird.
Yeah, I think he was trying to make this into a family thing, and it's like, but there's still like some really weird sexual stuff in it that's like kind of uncomfortable. But I think he was trying to be like, I want to make myself into an action comedy star.
The scene where the daughter takes her clothes off, I don't think I emphasized how long it goes on for.
It goes on for a
They
while.
have her taking off slowly, like layer by layer by layer, and you don't see nudity. It's not something that would be in a kid's movie.
No, and why put this in this movie? It just doesn't fit with the rest of the film, or, you know, what, I don't know.
It felt like he needed an excuse to be like, my daughter's crazy.
Yeah, he's got to go with like, my kids are driving me nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah. To make this movie better, I don't know. I was thinking about this. There's actually a lot of really good spy comedy movies. There's Spy with Melissa McCarthy and Austin Powers and Spy Kids. I guess like the problem is the star in this situation, so just don't have him.
Yeah, I think the problem is definitely Bill Cosby, but also the villain. You can tell that they had a lot of laughter behind, or he at least had a lot of laughter in his own mind of like, what if a vegetarian was evil? But he didn't really come up with a motive for her. Like, it's very unclear the whole time of like what she actually wants.
Yeah.
Especially because in the beginning it seems like maybe she's just targeting the CIA, and then it seems like maybe she's targeting random people. And does she want to just kill everyone in the world besides her and her friends? And like, what world does she see happening? Like, we don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
And you hear every once in a while of like somebody else was killed by an animal, but it's unclear if like, yeah, what her strategy is.
Yeah.
And we don't see that happening much. So it's just it's not like exciting. Oh.
No. Yeah. I totally agree. I think it's just it's flat.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of exciting things happening, but there's a lot of there's scenes where it's like someone's driving regularly, and then all of a sudden they do that thing where the car goes over the hill, like it jumps up a little bit, like you always see in those action movies, but it's done out of nowhere. Like they weren't even driving that fast. So there's a lot of things in here where it's like, we got to just make something happen, even though nothing in the script is happening.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think you could make someone just a bumbling idiot who accidentally solves crimes, but I think they'd have to have leaned into that more. But instead, it seemed like they kind of tried to have it both ways.
Yeah.
Where he is this really smart, really capable guy who like is talented at everything he does, including being a restaurateur. But then they also had him not actually do anything that helped the situation. He just kind of accidentally kept solving things.
Yeah. It would have been, was it Hong Kong Phooey or Inspector Gadget? One of those cartoons where it's like they're supposedly the hero, but it's really like their dog.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
like, I forgot which one. I think it's Hong Kong Phooey or something.
I don't remember.
But they're actually inept, but their sidekick dog or whatever it is, they're like actually moving the plot forward in all the. So if they just figured out what his deal was, if he was good or if he was bad, and it's funnier if he's bad at it. But they wanted to make him.
And I feel like the whole thing with the wife, they wanted us to feel like he was still a good guy and it was just a misunderstanding. But I think if they wanted that, they had to have made it into an actual misunderstanding.
Yes.
Like, maybe there was some sort of like fumbling way that he fell into the sauna naked with this woman. Because, like, where the whole time we were just like, why would he be in that situation, though, if he wasn't doing something bad? And if he was doing something bad, then it's like, well, we don't really feel bad for him that his wife left.
Yeah, and those stories don't even link up until the very end, where it's like, I don't even know if it's necessary. Like, maybe maybe he's still married and he just like retired from CIA stuff to be closer with his family, and that's the conflict. Like, I don't even know if you have to like do whatever that story was, because it takes up so much time and it has nothing to do with the actual plot of the film, where it's like, why are we here doing this right now? I don't know.
Yeah. His whole relationship with his wife is strange.
Yeah.
Where they don't really seem to have like any chemistry.
No.
We don't get any reason to like want them to be together, but it seems like everyone around them is like desperate for them to get back together.
Yeah. That doesn't make any sense. Yeah.
Do you think it deserved the Razzie?
Yeah. I mean, this was, I have a thing where I think bad drama is hilarious and bad comedy is depressing.
Yes, it is.
I was so bummed out watching this. I was just like, oh. And it really is a drag to watch. I don't know the other nominees, but I think it definitely deserved it.
Yeah, I think so too. I couldn't help but feel extra uncomfortable during this, just knowing what we know now about what Bill Cosby was up to.
Yeah.
And there's even like the parts in it where he's creepy. If it was someone else who wasn't legitimately like creepy in real life, I would feel less weird about it, I think. But yeah, it was an uncomfortable watch.
Yeah, and it's also the fact that this was his blank check movie and he just treated everybody so horribly on the set, and he just sort of like took it for granted that they're just like throwing money at him to make this, and he didn't seem to want to do anything special with it. Yeah, he's just a terrible guy.
Yeah. Well, is there any final thoughts you have about this film?
No.
Yeah, I think I said everything that I wanted to say about it. Do you have a palate cleanser for this week?
I saw a movie called The Celluloid Closet.
Oh, how was that?
And that is a 90s documentary about queer representation in films throughout history. And I really enjoyed it. It's on Tubi. Nice. Love Tubi.
Yeah, for free.
Can't get enough of Tubi. And I thought it was really fun. I wish there was more historical films that go through films. You know, like they're like telling the story through film clips, which is kind of fun. But it was very interesting to see all the different types of representation through the years. So
cool.
I would recommend that. What about you?
I've been watching, there's a documentary series on Netflix called Trainwreck, and they have a bunch of different ones. The Astro World one is very upsetting and like depressing. It's about the crowd crush tragedy at Astro World Music Festival, but it's very, very well done, and it's very interesting to hear how it all went wrong and like what the organizers should have been doing differently. And then they have some other ones that they're all about historical, like recent historical events that are wild or interesting. And they have a much more lighthearted one called Poop Cruise about the infamous cruise ship where they got stranded in the middle of the ocean and none of the toilets worked and they all started overflowing and everybody was like freaking out in their little tent city that they had to make on the deck because it's too hot. They lost power too completely. So they're just like on the deck fighting each other, shitting everywhere.
Oh my God.
It was wild.
Wow.
And then they have one about Rob Ford. Do you remember him? He was the former mayor of Toronto who got caught on video smoking crack a few times.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then he said he got sober, and then another video came out of him like drunk at a fast food restaurant doing a fake Jamaican accent.
Oh my God.
And interesting guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah, a lot of people stuck by him.
Jeez. Okay.
Even though he was literally doing crack with these gun runners that they were the police were trying to catch, and they were like, this is a pretty big conflict of interest, don't you think, that you're smoking crack with these guys?
Yeah. And
he's like, I don't remember. I don't remember what I do when I'm drunk.
Come on.
Yeah.
Wow,
but it's
those
wild.
Sound interesting.
It was really interesting, and it's wild how many people stuck by him and like to this day really defend him and say he was like a great politician.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really goes to show you like charisma can get you anywhere.
Yeah.
Even places you should not be.
Yes.
Like the mayor of Toronto.
The mayor of Toronto, or a lot of other stuff going on here. Mm-hmm. We're seeing a lot of that.
Yeah.
Craziness. So.
Wow.
On that happy note.
Yeah.